In this video, we're going to talk about how to multiply and divide fractions. So for multiplying first, we're going to multiply the tops. The tops are also called the numerators. Then multiply the bottoms, also called the denominators. Then, of course, we're going to always reduce if needed. Let's try a few of the multiplication problems here first. And I'll switch colors here. So we do have to follow our same rules as far as multiplying a negative and a positive from the last video, but we'll follow the rules up here that we just learned. So multiplying 1 and 1 gives us 1. Then multiplying 2 times 3 gives us 6. Negative times a positive means we're going to have a negative. Don't forget that. That's really important. How about this one? 7 times 1 over 14. Well, whenever we have a number by itself, we can consider that to just be the numerator and the denominator being 1. So if we were multiplying the tops, so to speak, 7 times 1 is 7 over 1 times 14 is 14. Now, remember to follow step 3, reduce if needed, because this fraction can be reduced. Let's try and reduce it. Does 7 go into 14? Yes, it does. How many times? 2 times. So 7 divided by 7. Actually, hang on. So if we divided both the numerator and the denominator by 7, we'll get 1 in the numerator over 2 in the denominator. And that is the answer we're looking for. Negative 3 times 3 halves, similar process as the last problem. Let's just write a denominator down there. Multiply the tops, negative 3 times 3 equals negative 9. 1 times 2 is 2. And really we just have negative 9 halves as our answer. We could write this as a mixed number, but in this class, I actually don't care. An improper fraction is just fine. That is a fine way to write your answer. With dividing fractions, we're going to first take the reciprocal of whatever you are dividing by. Let's think about what I just said there. Take the reciprocal of whatever you are dividing by. Think about it. Well, let's look at this example down here and ask ourselves, what are we dividing by? We're dividing by negative 1/2. So 1/3 divided by negative 1/2. What is the reciprocal of negative 1/2? Well, the reciprocal is really found just when you flip the numerator and the denominator. So flipping those, we'll get 1/3, and then we'll get negative 2 over 1. Now, all we have to do is now follow the multiplication rules. Really, I boiled the whole dividing fractions rule down to a few words. And that is this. Multiply by the reciprocal. If you can remember this, it's only 4 words. It isn't 2 steps or anything like that, but it's really just a simple way of remembering how to divide a fraction. Multiply by the reciprocal. So really, once we've taken the reciprocal, we're just going to multiply. I'll just make a multiplication sign right there. So 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. 3 times 1 is 3. So we're going to have negative 2/3 as our answer. Okay, so in order to divide by this fraction, we're going to have to what? Multiply by the reciprocal. So what is the reciprocal? Well, -4 times reciprocal of 1/2, flip the numerator and denominator, 2/1. So -4 times 2 is -8/1 equals -8, and that's our answer. How about this? -1/3 divided by 4. Well, a way to find this out is really just do the same thing, multiply by the reciprocal. Now, what is the reciprocal of a number that isn't a fraction? Well, if you want to write any number as a fraction, you can always just put a 1 over it. All right, so let's do that. And then we have -1/3 times 1/4. Now we can just multiply -1 times 1. It's -1. 3 times 4 is 12. And we cannot reduce that clearly. So that is our answer. And we're done.